everyone, so I've been talking a whole lot on this channel and on my social media in general about my Kickstarter campaign for my new book, Milk and Cookies. Link is below, please do take a look. And I thought it would be a good time to sit and talk about why people use Kickstarters, why I'm using it, and why you might like to use it for your creative projects in the future. And I do intend to make a series of videos with tips for running a Kickstarter campaign and all that stuff, but I want to wait for the campaign to be over before I do that, because it depends when you're watching this video. But right now the campaign is still running. And so, as I say, I thought now was a good time to talk about kind of the whys, because it took me a while to kind of weigh up the pros and cons and why this is a good way for some people to fund their project. So I thought I would just run through what those benefits are in case it's something that you're thinking about doing. So number one, and probably the most obvious reason why people use Kickstarter to fund their creative project, is they need the investment. Whether you're like me producing a book, or whether you've produced a board game, board games are really, really popular on Kickstarter, or you're making a short film, or you're creating an album, or whatever the creative project is, you need some kind of investment to make that. Now there are options, so you could use your own finances if you have money available for doing that. You could get a loan, or you can crowdfund for the project. Now crowdfunding comes along with some other benefits, but essentially, yeah, it's just a way of getting the investment that you need to make the project come to life. So with Kickstarter, you set yourself a goal, which is the money that you need to take this project forward, and then you set reward tiers so that your audience can choose how much money they would like to back your project for and what reward they would like to get. So for me, with a book, I'm offering the paperback or the hardback, and different combinations of those things and little extras and even if the project's ended, you can go and take a look at how I set that out. But you set those rewards, and your community, your audience, can then back your project, choose the reward that they would like, and that money all adds up until you get to the goal. If you don't reach your goal, nobody is charged and you don't receive any money, which can seem a bit, well, it is a bit scary, but I actually think it's a really, really good thing, because if you don't get that money, if you don't reach that goal, then you don't have enough of an investment to take the project forward if you chose your goal wisely and did the maths correctly. So if you didn't reach it, you can't take the project forward anyway, and you can't give the rewards to your audience because you can't actually produce the project. So that's why I really like it, as well as the kind of excitement and buzz and urgency that having that goal and the need to reach that goal creates. So, but essentially, that is the first and main reason why people use Kickstarter, is because they need some money to create their project. So the second reason for using a Kickstarter campaign in particular, as opposed to other kinds of investment, is that it's an amazing marketing tool. So in asking your audience to back the project, creating all this excitement, like I said, we've got to get there, we've got to reach the goal, and reaching out to lots of people and getting lots of people to share it, and having people see that urgency and the need for them to engage with the project, means that this is just an amazing way to get this project out there, to get people to engage with it, to get people to support it in a way that maybe actually physically launching the project doesn't have quite the same excitement. For example, if I was actually taking pre-orders, as in the book is just about to come out, it's launching in, I don't know, 3 weeks, and you can pre-order the book, the urgency isn't there for your audience to pre-order it. They might pre-order it if they're interested, and yes, you can market it lots, and yes, people hopefully will be excited about whatever it is that you're doing. But in terms of them knowing that they need to take an action and they need to engage with it and share it and get involved and like your posts and actually back the campaign, actually pre-order the book, well, it's not created quite that same vibe in the pre-order phase as it would if you're running a Kickstarter, which in many ways a Kickstarter is a way of pre-ordering whatever it is that you've created. You don't have that same buzz, because on the Kickstarter people can see how close you are to the target, how important it is that they invest. They see this whole thing unraveling, this whole story over the course of the Kickstarter. And so in terms of actually using it as a way of marketing your product and getting people to engage in it and be excited by it, it is an amazing tool. So the third reason for using a Kickstarter is kind of tied to the second reason, which is that you can use it to collect pre-orders, but you can collect these pre-orders before the product even fully exists. You will need kind of prototypes and a certain amount of information so that you can show people what it is that they're investing in. But so for example, with publishing, if I was nearing the publication date for a book, I would be collecting pre-orders. I'd be encouraging people to pre-order that book, because that all goes towards the sales figures for my book on its first day and creates a whole load of excitement. And it could mean that the book enters charts on Amazon or whatever. So, you know, you would do that leading up to a book coming out. But in order to start those pre-orders and have that book set to pre-order, I have to have completely finished the book. It's completely made, it exists, it's illustrated, it's edited, it's formatted, everything is done. It's either printed or it's uploaded onto my print-on-demand service, whatever it is, and I've pressed go and said, right, now we're doing pre-orders, that book is ready to go and is going to be produced. So, but as I say, with Kickstarter, you are collecting those pre-orders well in advance of that. So instead of receiving the money after the book has come out, so my pre-orders, I would get the royalties from those once the book is published. With Kickstarter, you're essentially still doing the same thing. You're saying pre-order this book, or whatever you've made, you know, order this before it's made, but the finances are released once the campaign is over and before you have made the product. So that means, like I said, that you've got the investment way before you normally would, but yet you're still essentially doing the same thing. You're collecting pre-orders that you can then send out whenever you've chosen to. But I mean, essentially that's what Kickstarter is in a way. You are allowing people to pre-order your product, and then that enables you to have the investment to produce it. So it all kind of ties together, but it is just a really cool way of doing that pre-order thing. Like I said with the second point, creating some urgency about it. My fourth reason is that running a Kickstarter forces you to step out of your comfort zone and be a little bit more creative with your marketing. You have to reach that goal. You know, you see these people, because you can see who's invested and what tiers they've chosen and all of this stuff. So you can see that these people support your project, that they've taken that step to back it. And you need to reach that goal in order to be able to deliver on this thing that you've got these people excited about. So in order to reach it, and to reach it within the time period that you've set, you have got to market. Now, yes, of course, there's an incentive to market your product when it actually comes out, but I feel like Kickstarter gives you such a kick up the bum to have to market this in this period of time, because instead of kind of shrugging your shoulders and saying, well, I didn't sell that many copies, but I tried this and I tried that and it didn't work, or it did work, you know, it just makes you have that sense of urgency. Again, it really does create that. As much as it does for your audience, it also creates the sense of urgency for you. So it means that you will try different marketing strategies and that you will step out of your comfort zone, because as you see the days ticking by and you see how close you are to the goal, it makes you think, okay, I'm going to have to try this, otherwise we're not going to reach the goal. And I think it can be easy, certainly is something I experienced, to be quite uncomfortable about marketing. I mean, I am a very typically British person. I'm just very apologetic. I don't want to talk about what I do and be pushy about it or anything. I feel very uncomfortable in marketing. But if I want to reach my goal, I have to get over that. And I have to send those messages to people asking them to support the project or to share the project. And I have to reach out to media outlets and ask if they will, you know, interview me or whatever. And I have to be able to have those conversations with people and put myself out there, because otherwise I will not reach the goal. And the Kickstarter, all the work that went into it, creating the page and creating the prototypes and everything that you've done, if you then don't force yourself to market it, it was a waste of time, you know. So I think that the time element and the goal element of it does really incentivize you to kind of say to yourself, can you tell this all coming through experience that I've had to be a big girl and put myself out there. But it makes you have to say, right, okay, I'm going to try paid ads, I'm going to try newspaper and radio and messaging people and talking to people and going to events and running a stall and all the things, and trying just to go, I'll just try it, it's fine, I'll just do it. And actually, it teaches you a whole lot about marketing and about what works and what doesn't and what's within your comfort zone and what you're capable of. So I actually think it teaches you an awful lot about marketing. And my final reason is because it's a lot of fun. Yes, it's anxiety inducing and scary and, you know, it is undeniably, but it's also really exciting. And working in a creative industry and having crowdfunded a project it's an amazing thing to have done at least once, I think, and have got your audience involved in something and backing something and excited about something. It is an amazing thing to have done, and it is so exciting seeing the backing creeping up, and yes, scary when it doesn't, but also it's so lovely to see, because you can see who's backed you, you can see people's names, and to see people that you know who've backed you, and oh, isn't that lovely? Oh, that's really nice, recognising the names, but also not recognising the names and thinking, who are they? That's so lovely. And actually, it boosts your confidence to see that these people also believe in the thing that you believe in, that you want to create, that they also are right behind you doing that. And it's a lovely experience. And I think whether the project is fully funded or not, having gone through that process of seeing that a portion of your audience really believe in what you do and are willing to get behind it, and all the excitement that creates and the buzz that it creates and the roller coaster of, oh, it's this much funded, and oh no, are we going to make it because we didn't have any backing today, and then the next day, oh my god, look at all this that's come in. All of that is just, yes, it does create anxiety, yes it does, but it is also a whole lot of fun as well. So those are my 5 reasons for why you might want to use Kickstarter to crowdfund your creative project. If you have any more reasons that you want to add to that, please do leave them in the comments and let me know what you're working on. It's very, very exciting. Thank you for watching. Please do hit like if you found that useful, and I'll see you all soon for another video. Take care.